Well, hello Nigerians, how you doing out there? It's still the World Cup season, and right here on television and Nigeria, the program is Sports Matter. Sport Matter is where we discuss everything pertaining to sports. But since this is the World Cup season, we are concentrating more on the World Cup. My name is Ernest Ekwe Essien. I'm popularly known as MC Miracle, and I have two wonderful sport analysts seated beside me. To my right, I have Miss Blessing Akpera. Blessing, how are you?
I'm very well, MC. Thank you, and welcome to Sport Matters on television.
I can see the smiles on the face of Africans, even the way she's smiling, because fortunately for us, finally, somebody has given us, a team has given us something to smile about. I also have my brother here. Sam, how are you?
Good morning, MC. I'm happy to be on another episode.
It's another episode of this program where we talk sports. My brother, to God be the glory. Great things he has done. Finally, one African team has come to show us how to play football, and that is Senegal. The Teranga Lions of Senegal made us proud by truncating and flashing and beating. In fact, making Poland have to struggle. Even with all their superstars, they have to struggle to even beg for one goal. And that is what the African spirit is all about. Gentlemen, I'm calling you gentleman. You're a sport person, Gary. Blessing, how did you feel the pulse of that match?
Yesterday when I was watching that match, I had to ask myself, are these Africans?
They were playing so professional.
They were so professional. The way their tactics, their passes, everything was accurate. And I'm like, is this really Senegal playing, or is Poland in black? But
when you have some very serious players like Mane, Diop, and all that in the team, and don't forget their coach. Cisse, was a former defender who was their captain that took them to the quarterfinals, because they were almost in the semifinals except for the normal the African football. But at least they had a coach who is a defensive-minded coach, and I think that played out for them, Sam.
Very, very well. Yesterday, I was looking at him, Aliou Cisse, and you could see the discipline, you could see the enthusiasm. He wanted the boys to play in a particular way, and they went out there and delivered.
They delivered.
And it was
and don't forget, they were 2 goals up before Poland now started struggling to now get a goal back. And the scorer, he also dealt with the first ball that cost the own goal, and also scored the second goal. Tell us about that player.
Niang is a very beautiful player from AC Milan, but this season he played in Torino.
He was on
loan to Torino, and all through the Serie A league. And the physique of the Serie A league, the professionalism, even though he's just 23 years old, you see that he plays. Yes, he's a very young player, but over time, the professionalism in the way he handles the ball, and most especially the way he uses his physique, his body, his physical strength.
For football, you need that physique to survive, because sometimes you need to bulldoze, especially if you're a striker.
Yes.
You see the way Ibrahimovic and the likes always bulldoze into anything. Wherever they go, you see strikers. Once you see the build, you know they are good to go. Okay, let's look at African teams so far. Apart from Senegal that made us smile, so far every other African team has lost a match. And in fact, I'm sure the turbine engine of Egypt Air, their planes already has started whining, because yesterday
they can still qualify.
How? How?
In football, anything can happen.
In fact, okay, let's start. I like Nigerians for one thing. We like competition. We like calculation. Okay, let's calculate. Russia has 6 points already.
Yes.
With 8 goals to their credit.
That's beautiful.
So goal difference already, as they are on point. 6 points, they have already qualified, whether they lose the next match or not. Saudi Arabia collected 5 kondo.
Yeah, that's -5.
That's -5 already. You understand? Egypt collected 3. The first one, they collected 1 and scored only 1 goal. That is 4-1.
-3.
-3.
Yes.
Now, the other Uruguay won their first match, and now they are very sure of winning the second match.
Uruguay, yes, they won their first match by a goal
against Egypt,
margin.
And their next match now is against Saudi Arabia.
So which make things easier.
So let's say so. Peradventure, Saudi Arabia now beats.
That is what we need to happen.
That's what we just said.
Saudi Arabia will give.
So even if Saudi Arabia wins, let's say they beat Uruguay, which I know is impossible. Paraventure it happens. Let's say paraventure it happens. So where does Egypt now come into the party?
The only thing we need to look out for is the Russians to continue to be wonderful. And then against Uruguay, they come out there, the home advantage, they come out there and they give some whooping scoreline.
So you want them to beat Uruguay,
of course,
for Egypt to qualify?
Yeah, then we can have Egypt and another.
What Egypt, they chop beans to start where other people they score. Why would they now want? That is always the Nigerian spirit, where we always want for somebody to make one mistake go happen so that it will become our own portion. It is not so. The only thing I know is that Egypt,
it's just unfortunate for them. It's just
unfortunate.
It's
the first team to exit the World Cup, an African
Not
team.
yet, MC.
Not officially.
As if they've already exited.
For me, it's a bye-bye to
you know, I'm always optimistic
yes.
about everything. So
yes.
I see them after the whole. Let's see how the next match will be. Then
they have one more match to play.
That's what I'm saying. Then
that is against Saudi Arabia.
Anything can happen.
I think the Saudis don't want to shine when their king is there to also watch them. And
when you leave your luck in the hands of other people, then I think you've lost
that's exactly what I was
saying.
saying. You don't leave your luck in the hand, and that is why we want to ask every African team that is left yet to play their matches that at least this is the time for them to. And look at all the matches. Most of them lost by own goals.
Yes. 5 own goals so far.
5 own goals so far in the World Cup, 3 from Africa. Yeah. Nigeria, Morocco, and Tunisia.
And Egypt yesterday.
All own goals, 3 out of 5. That shows there's a problem with our defense.
I think it's the confidence. Because when you're under pressure, you make some mistakes. And
all these mistakes are coming from corners.
They're coming from corners. All the own goals that have been scored.
So that means the coaches need to work on set pieces. Because if you don't correct the set pieces, that means more problems will come like that.
I think aside from the set piece, I think the defenders still need to work very well to make sure they stand in line.
Okay, now let's look at their statistics so far. The 6 matches have been played by African countries, and they've lost 5 and won only 1 so far. They've conceded 10 goals all around, and they've only scored 4 goals. That means -6 if we want to calculate. And also, out of all the points they are supposed to get from 6 matches, we're supposed to get 18 points.
Yes.
And only 3 points have come to Africa. The remaining 15 points have gone to the rest of the world. So that means there is a technical problem in African football. Because if we can only see Senegal doing well, that means something is wrong. So what will you tell the African teams as they're coming back? Because the matches that are starting from Friday now, Nigeria will be playing, and other African countries will be playing. What do you guys think they should do? What are their chances?
Okay, like the mood at which Senegal played yesterday, I think, and I'm sure that the other African countries that are yet to play must have watched that match, and they would have seen the zeal and the action that was played on the pitch. And then I feel that as they're coming back, they'll do better. Now let's start with our formation. Let's have a standard formation, a formidable formation first that we know we are sure of to back up for anything. Then we'll be through. It's not just about.
So you believe with the Senegal's victory yesterday, it will get up the African spirit, so that all Africans will go on to it.
For me, I even feel already high, motivated. So not to talk of the players that will be on the pitch to play. So
okay, let's take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we'll now look at the Nigerian team, look at our match so far, and also look at our chances of qualifying. Don't go anywhere. Sport Matters continue after this break.
That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
All right, welcome back from the break. It's still Sports Matter here on Television Nigerian. Before we went to that break, we were looking at the African teams, their performances so far, and their chances of qualifying to the next round of the World Cup. So far, the only team that has made Nigerian Africans proud is the Teranga Lions of Senegal, who did very well. And like we were talking when we were off camera, we said the coach did well because he's come from the ranks.
Yeah.
He started from the under-23 team, so there's this understanding of the players. Do we see that happening with the Nigerian coach? Because so far, I think the tactics he used in the last match was not on point. The way you will play Mikel Obi ahead of Iwobi. Well, Iwobi does that regularly for his club. I think Mikel should have been on a defensive, he should have played his defensive role as usual. So what do you think will be different this time? What can we do differently? Apart, you mentioned the formation. What else? What players do you think should come in and what players should stay out?
Okay, I think you talked about Mikel. When Mikel played, Mikel was not supposed to be playing 8 for that day. That cost a whole lot, and then Igalo was there to get the assist, and he wasn't getting it. It turned out to be that he was so helpless for the day of that match. And then the formation, like I said, he needs to change it.
But that formation was 4-3-2-1.
Yes, and then to me he would have just used a 4-4-1 or 4-4-2, 4-3-2. You know, I would have, but I think 4-4-2 would have been a better formation.
Sam, I think Igalo was not getting enough. They were not pumping him enough, and even when he gets the ball, no assist
at all.
So he was like a lone lion there in the midst of a lone wolf, or let me say a lone goat in the midst of wolves.
It's always difficult to play a lone striker in a World Cup match. So after the match, what Igalo said was that it's difficult to play a lone striker in the midst of these guys, but I'll do whatever, I play whatever the coach
tells me
in whatever way he wants me to play. But moving forward now, we know the way the Icelanders play. I watched them and I followed them all through the Euro. They do a defensive formation, and they wait, mass defense, and they wait to catch you on the break.
Yes.
So I think what we need to do is deploy as many strikers as possible. That's still trying to maintain the balance. Just like Blessing said, 2 strikers would be very fine to start with.
But I believe that when you do more of offensive play in the match, it makes your opponent a bit defensive. Because when they see that every time you're attacking. But against our first match against Croatia, I noticed that we were playing more of the defensive than attacking. So I would think if the coach can change the formation, bring in Ian Acho to partner with Igalo from the beginning of the match, put Alexi Iwobi to the front, bring Mikel to just play behind Alexi Iwobi, and let Moses and Ido play from the flanks.
One thing with one dilemma with football is that you have to, there's this balance that you must have in your team. The more you commit forward, then you leave your back line
but you still have Balogun, Trust, and others. Because left for me, I think Idowu should rest and Echejire should be brought into a match because Echejire knows how to run the flanks.
You've counted like 15 players that you want on the lineup.
No, I didn't count 15. I just started. I just said put this and remove this.
I think I agree on that fact that Echejire should come in. 1, his experience, and then 2, once he's at the back line, there's always that.
There's a balance.
I very much agree with you guys, but the thing there is, I feel that individually, our players have this unique, and yes, the exceptional attribute is there.
Personally.
But then we need to ask the coach, do you know how to harness all of these arsenals together and use them? I think that fundamental
it's fundamental,
it's missing.
But even at that, this is a World Cup. You don't bring your green-ons to play serious matches. You use your experienced players. And what do I mean by experience? A man like Echejire should have been in that match. Omeru should have been in that match. Onazi should have been in that match.
But we saw all of these guys during the friendly matches.
Yes, but these are
they
people
were
who
not
have
very
had World Cup
convincing
experiences. Because when you use your green ones, the new guys, sometimes see like what Ekong did with Manzuki. For me, what I saw in that thing was that the guy said, "Hey, Manzuki, now you be this." So I feel see you. The next thing, brother, let me hug you. Let me hug you. and he hugged him and
that was
committed the
costly
penalty.
one.
That was very costly. So look at what you said something about the discipline in the Senegal team.
Yes.
That discipline is lacking in the Nigerian team.
There was communication, we lacked that. And then one thing I noticed about the Nigerian team is that they were never quick on the ball. They were taking the slow pace.
As if they were on a slow motion parade.
So
it wasn't like a match.
I was wondering why there was no action,
No
there was
commitment.
no entertainment about that match. So I think they should do better.
But okay, now let's talk on the
Iceland.
positive. Do you guys see Nigeria beating Iceland?
I fancied our chances against Croatia, the Croatian guys, and the way the match came out, it was very disappointing.
Okay, that was where you thought we could.
Yes, that was where we thought at least we would have gotten a point from the Croatian guys. But talk about the Icelanders. I know those guys. Those guys are very tough people, and they are here they are not in the World Cup to play. And you could see the way they matched the Argentina. And even going back to Euro, they played in the English. They knocked out England, remember? Yeah. And even Portugal couldn't defeat them in 90 minutes. They had to settle for. So, and the same, if you cannot score, then don't let them score you. They man their back, and then they catch you on a break. And they are physical guys. So I would expect Nigeria to come all out and play like something is actually at stake.
But the possibility of Nigeria qualifying is there, because if I remember with the tournament that Spain won, they lost their first match.
Yes.
They lost their first match. Even Bulgaria against Nigeria in USA 94.
Yeah,
Bulgaria we gave them 3-0,
yes.
and they still came out to play the semi-final.
Yeah.
So losing your first match doesn't mean you won't move forward.
Yes,
okay, madam, optimistic.
It does not really mean you won't move forward, but then it demoralizes you.
Okay.
But it's still a good thing, because that puts you in check. You need to go back and draw your table, put the line straight and know where you're hitting the lines and how
okay.
so that's
what we're saying now, Nigeria will qualify.
We are qualifying.
If only they can go back.
You are using if now.
Definitely.
Let's say we are qualifying.
MC, to be plain, after the match against the England and against Czech Republic, we considered the same type of goal. That is from set piece. Yeah. The last thing, I would not have expected that we will still come to the World Cup and concede 2 goals from set pieces. So we need to go back, look at what is wrong, make corrections, and then we can qualify. But without doing all of those things, I don't fancy our chances.
So, Coach Roy, you have heard from us that, sir, change tactics, change formation, change your pattern. Get us the right pattern to make us win. Nigerians are used to watching their team play 4-4-2. Go back to the 4-4-2 pattern where we can play and feel free to really express ourselves. Because when you put the players at the wrong positions, they will mess you up. And even the former coach of Mikel Obi,
Samson Siasia.
Not Siasia, Mourinho.
Yeah.
Mourinho said it point blank that Mikel was played out of position. Mm-hmm. He was not well positioned for that match. So if he's our talent, and moreover, who says you can't remove him when he makes mistakes?
But the problem again is the time he started substituting the players.
Too late.
It was too late. How can you keep Mikel on the pitch if you know you're substituting
him? Up to the 83rd minute.
Up to the 88th minute.
88th minute.
So to me, that change was uncalled for, and then you're bringing in Musa at the 63rd minute.
Musa came in 63rd minute and substituted Iwobi, which I felt shouldn't have been substituted from that match.
No, Iwobi wasn't really doing well.
But he was better than Mikel in that match.
But when Moses came in, when Musa came in, there was that bite. There was that bite. There was a charge. So
in terms of substitution-wise, every change you make in a football match matters. So I wouldn't blame the coach as the point is substituted. 1 minute you are good, the next minute anything can happen. Look at Boussafa, Morocco. He was brought in to defend, and he made an own goal. So substitution-wise, I think anything can happen, and there must have been something on his mind. Probably he felt in the next minute.
Where I totally disagree with you, because going by the way that match was being played, I felt he should have done more. At that point, I expected that Onazi will come in and then be there with
stabilize the
the part of it is that
he didn't do that.
And don't forget, you were playing against two best
midfielders
in the world. You were playing against Modric Rakitic. These are two biggest midfielders, defensive midfielders.
Probably, if you had said maybe Nwankwo shouldn't come in because Nwankwo is not tested. But even he came in 88 minutes, that's a little time to even make an impact.
So, but left for me, that 88 minutes would have been for Anonazi or any other person.
I would have expected that you are goals down. So you bring in your striker instead of taking out Igalo in the first place. But the time he substituted Mikel or the changes he made are not really a concern, but the type of players that he brought in, exactly, go down.
So bring in more striker. We just expect and hope that Nigeria will do us proud, just like the Senegalese did, and we know that with the African spirit fighting everywhere, we will qualify. That's our prayer here in the studios here at TVN. So that's much we can take on Sport Matters, but just go out, support the teams, support the African teams, and pray that they will do better in the subsequent matches that they will be playing. Nigeria will be playing on Friday. We'll give you more of the match analysis by God's grace tomorrow when we come again on the program. Sam?
Oh, thank you very much for staying with us. Don't worry, we promise to bring you more beats tomorrow. It's an exciting World Cup, a surprising one for the amateur.
So many
surprises, and I'm happy being here talking about it and analyzing.
It's a surprising World Cup tournament. We'll still be with you here at the same time tomorrow for more tidbits on Sport Matters.
Okay, for me, Ernest Okoresien, I'd like to say thank you for being part of the program, and we'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you.
Again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely